Hello, home bosses. Here's a truth that might surprise you. Around 80% of my books don't sell. And you know what? That's completely normal. I know that sounds a bit scary if you're just starting out, but once I realized that this wasn't failure, but part of how business actually works, everything got easier. So when I first started self-publishing, I thought every book I made had to sell. So I would spend weeks designing, uploading, waiting for sales to come in, and when they didn't, I'd feel completely deflated. I thought maybe I was doing something wrong, but then I remembered something from my jewelry business years ago. Only about 20% of my stock used to sell regularly, and the rest, it just sat there. I still have boxes of jewelry in my house now that just didn't sell at the time. And that's actually what happens in almost every creative business. Whether you're selling jewelry, artwork, Etsy, printables, or books, it's what we call the 80-20 rule, and that means 20% of your efforts bring in 80% of your results. And in fact, it also translates to 20% of your products will sell and the rest just won't. And once you understand that, you stop taking it personally. Every book you publish isn't meant to be a bestseller. Some are there to teach you lessons, help you test niches, and build your skills. So today I want to share some of the biggest mistakes I made and still sometimes make as a self-publisher. And these are things that can slow you down, burn you out, or make you think you're failing when actually you're not. So mistake number one is expecting every book to sell. And one of the biggest mindset shifts you can make is understanding that not every book will sell. That's just how this business works. I used to think if a book didn't sell in the first month, it meant I should delete it or it wasn't good enough. And now I know sometimes books take months or even a year to pick up traction. Some books suddenly start selling out of nowhere because the niche trends again, or people rediscover it. That happened to some of my books a few times where I thought, should I unpublish this book? It's not really selling. And suddenly it started selling and now it's selling regularly. So lucky I didn't unpublish it at the time. So instead of panicking about what's not selling, I focus on what is working and build more around that. And mistake number two is uploading and forgetting. That means not promoting enough. I used to publish a book, post it on Instagram or Facebook, and then move on to the next. And no wonder nobody saw it. The truth is, people need to see your book multiple times before they even think about buying it. And the more consistent you are with sharing, whether that's on Pinterest, Instagram, YouTube, or even just your email list, the more trust you build. And mistake number three is ignoring your email list. This one took me a long time to get right. For years, I ignored email marketing because I thought it was too complicated. Actually, it wasn't even that. I just didn't know how to do it and it sounded unnecessary. That's why I kept telling myself it's unnecessary. But really, it is the thing that changed everything for me. When I finally started building my email list, it really changed everything. Suddenly, I wasn't relying on algorithms anymore. And when I launch a new book or share a freebie, I know I can reach people directly, people who want to actually hear from me. So it doesn't have to be fancy, just something simple like a free printable, a checklist, or even a bonus coloring page. The key is to start collecting emails early and keep nurturing those connections. I do this for one of my brands and it works great. Just start with one of your brands. It does take a little time, so my advice is to do it for one brand or one pen name and just focus on that. Don't have too many because it's tempting to want to do this for every brand or for every pen name, but it's actually time consuming, just focus on one. I know some of you have several pen names, so maybe choose the one that has the most sales or the one that you like best. and then go from there. So I would say use your time wisely, otherwise you can get burned out. And that leads us to the next mistake. Mistake number 4 is burnout from doing too much. And this one is personal. When I first started, I thought I had to publish constantly to succeed. I see other people posting new books every week, and I feel like I was running behind. And from watching other YouTubers, it felt as if it was important to publish as many books as possible to earn more royalties. But that's not sustainable, and it's not even necessary. You don't need to publish every week. You need to publish strategically. So choose a manageable pace and focus on quality, especially books that can form a brand or a series. Remember, this is supposed to bring you freedom and not stress. If you burn out, the whole point of doing this from home, creating, having time with your family, it just disappears. So make a plan you can stick to, not just for a week, but for the long run. And mistake number 5 is not having a clear plan or a system. And this is something I wish I had understood sooner. If you're just publishing random books without a strategy, it's really easy to feel like you're getting nowhere. And what helped me was creating a system. And that was knowing what kind of books I wanted to make, who I was making them for, and how I'd market them once I published them. So that gave me focus and helped me build a brand instead of just publishing a bunch of books. So have a plan and stick to it, and then trust time. And when you have a clear system, even when results are slow, you can see progress, and that's what keeps you going. So if you're feeling discouraged because your books aren't selling, remember this. That's not failure. It's just feedback. Every creator goes through this. Every successful author has dozens of books that didn't take off. But those books taught them how to make the ones that did. And this happened to me such a lot, especially at the beginning, where books suddenly didn't sell. And I thought, this isn't really working. And what if I had given up then? I wouldn't be here now and earning an income from publishing books. And what I earn every month is a full-time income for me and my husband, and it gives us that freedom that I hope you can find as well. Time to spend with your family, time to do the things that you want to do. So this is why I started doing my YouTube videos, because I wanted other people to have the same freedom that I have. And that's why I'm telling you about these mistakes, because hopefully you can learn from my mistakes so you don't have to do them yourself. And remember that you're building a foundation, you're learning, and even if only 20% of your books bringing most of your income, that's how most businesses work. And like I said, my husband and I make a full-time income from selling our books, so that 20% is actually quite a lot. So failure is feedback, and here's the truth. The longer you stick with it, the more those 20% multiply, because your skills grow and your audience grows, and time compounds your effort. And that's why consistency matters more than speed. It's not about how many books you publish. It's about staying in the game long enough to see the results. And that's why I said I'm happy I didn't give up when I wanted to give up in the past. So if this message resonated with you, take it as a reminder to keep going. You don't have to do everything perfectly. You just have to keep showing up and see what works and learn from that. And if you want help creating a simple system for your publishing journey, I have a few resources and courses that can help. I'm thinking about my branding for publishers course. That's quite useful. And I will leave the links below this video. And if you found this helpful, give it a like, subscribe, and share it with someone who might need a bit of encouragement today. So thank you again for watching. I really enjoyed my time talking to you. I hope you do too. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye-bye.
Thank you for watching The Home Boss, where ideas turn to gold. Every page, every story, another dream unfolds. The Home Boss, the Home